Are you thinking about getting the Kink Switch complete BMX bike, but you want to know exactly what comes on the bike? Well, you're in luck today. I'm going to tell you everything about this bike, from how it's made to the parts that come on it, and what kind of riding you can do with this bike. So let's get to it. If you watched all my videos, make sure that you subscribe, you like this video, and you comment below, and let me know if I didn't answer any of your questions, and then I'll try to hit you back up in the comments with the answer. So let's start from the front like we always do. We like to start with the grips. Check out these forged grips from Kink. These are a little bit different. They actually have a little bit raised right here on the ends so that it holds your hand on there. So the ends are a little bit bigger. And then it also has this heavy duty nylon bar end. Keeps dirt out of there, keeps your grips staying on your handlebar, and just keeps your handlebars looking nice. Going to the lever, we got the Mission alloy lever. This one is a 2-finger pull. It's a pretty heavy duty lever. Be pretty hard to bend it, but it's still possible. But pretty solid lever, pulls pretty nice. And along with the linear slick cable, or the linear cable, this one allows you to spin the bars and still have your brakes work. This one's a little bit tighter than normal, so your brakes still work. Whereas a conventional brake cable, it'll bind up and actually make your brakes hit. So this one allows you to do that. So that's pretty sick on the brake cable. Going to the handlebars, notice that these look a little bit different than most of the other bikes. These have a full chromoly 4-piece handlebar, and these are the F900 bars. These are 9 inches tall, so the center of the bar here to the center here is going to give you the rise of the bar. And then they also got some back sweep and up sweep, similar to most 4-piece bars. So check out the specs on our website if you want to know more about these bars. But if you're riding BMX, you could ride trails, you could ride park, street, or anything like that, and these bars will look good. Going to the Kink Brute alloy stem. This thing is a top load stem, pretty heavy duty. It's got a big plate on the side, and it's got cutouts on the side to keep it lightweight. Going to the top, you have a fork cap right here with the 6mm on top to tighten and compress your headset, along with a Mission tall headset right here. This headset cap is crucial if you want your bike to operate totally fine and never have to work on it. Getting rid of a bunch of little spacers eliminates the prone for them shifting and causing your headset to come loose. So having that tall headset on there helps that out, removes all those little spacers, and just pulls your headset together and makes it a lot easier. Going to the fork, it is a full chromoly fork with the chromoly steer tube. The tube that goes through it is called the steer tube. It goes to the legs. These legs are tapered, so it's thick to thin, and then it also has a pretty thick dropout here, as well as a lot of dropout space to apply a peg here. The forks are the Trident forks, and they got a cutout here and a cutout here so that your forks aren't grinding on the ledges or rails or anything that you're grinding. You're not catching your fork right here. And this cutout here is to clear your peg so your peg can go on easily. Going to the front axle, this thing is equipped with female axles. These axles go into the hub, makes it a lot stronger, a lot more heavy duty if you're grinding. If you're a big dude and you're grinding and you tend to bend the axles, this will help you out because you won't have to throw away your hub. You could just buy a replacement bolt and put your pegs back on, and your hub and your wheel is totally fine. For $10, you could get a new bolt and you're back rolling. This hub is the Mission Bond hub. They got a big laser etching right there. It looks pretty sick. And it's got fully sealed bearings on both sides, and you can run pegs on both sides. Also, you got stainless steel spokes to keep the rim straight for a long period of time. You got brass nipples, which don't tend to rust, and they just hold your wheel together really good. We also have the Mylar rim from Mission. This is a double wall wheel, and the spokes are offset to give your rim a little bit more rigidity and strength. The sidewall isn't very tall, so I think you guys will like that. And then it's coupled with the wake tire. This thing is super fat. It comes in the 245, I believe. Let me double check, but this one's really hard to see. Yep, yes sir, 245. It's a little bit wider. It's got a neural pattern on it. It's doesn't have very deep grooves on it, so it's more of like a fast rolling tire. It looks really nice. It's got a lot of grip on the side, and then notice how on the edge of it, it's got some how do you say, more of a different style tread. I would say like almost in between like a street tire and a dirt tire. So if you're doing like wall rides or carving or anything like that, it'll still grip. These tires feel pretty light, so I think you'll dig that. Going to the pegs, you got Mission PC pegs. They got a aluminum core, or actually these are steel core. Let me see. Those are steel core. I'm pretty sure they're steel core. I can't remember offhand, but they look like steel cores and aluminum. A plastic outer core. Going to the frame, you're gonna get a 20.75 inch top tube. If you're about 5'8" to 6'1", I would recommend this top tube. Anywhere from there, you can ride this top tube. As far as if you're riding or you're 5'8" and you're riding this style frame, the frame is going to be a little bit big for you. If you're 6'1", obviously this frame is going to be a little bit smaller for you. But for a taller person at 6'1", it helps you maneuver the bike a little bit faster, doing 360s, tail whips, stuff like that, 180s. Whereas if you're shorter on the 5'8" size height and you're riding this size frame, the frame's going to be longer. So if you're riding trails, you're doing park stuff, and you want the bike to track straighter, this might be a better fit for you. So kind of frame sizes, general rule of thumbs, somebody about 5'10" or around there should be riding this. But on those scales or that spectrum, you can ride those either way. So if that helps you out picking out a size, I hope that helped you out. Also, this frame is a full chromoly frame, so if you want to do any of those things, you could totally do it. If you're an adult, you can ride this bike. It's going to hold up and keep everything together, and it's going to allow you to ride a lot longer. Going to the head tube, this head tube looks pretty sick. It's got a crazy machine head tube. I don't know if this thing's a sticker or not, or if it's, oh yeah, it is a sticker though. That's crazy. So that looks like it's machined in the head tube, but it's actually a sticker the same exact color as that, which is pretty nuts. I could probably peel it off, but no, it looks crazy. This color is phenomenal. Looks super trippy, like a ghost gray green color with this fade. Looks super dope. The head tube, we got gyro capabilities right here. Also, it's an integrated headset or head tube, and you can put an integrated headset in here. On the down tube right here, it also has a gusset. No gusset on the top, but it looks pretty solid. Going to the bottom bracket, we got a mid-bottom bracket. It's machined out in the middle, so if you're doing cricket grinds or any derrick dusters or anything like that, it'll lock in real nice. Going to the rear of the frame, let's go to the seat stays. These seat stays are pretty big tubing. Same thing with the chain stays, and they're kind of pinched right here, giving the tire a lot of room. Having the short rear ends makes it really hard for these big fat tires to go forward. So pinching them or giving it room is very difficult, and Kink makes it look really nice by doing that. And then it also has this small gusset down here. Going to the seat stays, it has a gusset with an this is like machined out Kink logo right here. Looks pretty sick. Going to the end of the dropout, the dropouts are relatively thin. They look like 5 mil, nothing too crazy. But the seat stays and the chain stays are capped. They look pretty dope, and the dropout's really small, so when you put a peg on it, it can clear and you won't get stuck or anything like that. Again, this frame is full chromoly, and then it also has an integrated seat clamp on there, so that's pretty sick. Going to the seat, we got the the Kink Ericsson Stealth seat, and we got a Mission alloy pivotal seat post. Now this thing's perforated. It's got a rubberized canvas on the back to keep it from ripping and stuff like that. It's triple stitched. Super awesome seat, and it just looks nice. Going down to the cranks, we got the Mission Ridge cranks. These come in at 165 length. So good short crank to clear the peg when you're riding pegs. Going to the sprocket, we have the Mission alloy sprocket right here. I forgot the name of it. Going to the chain, we got the Mission 510 chain on here. It's a little bit heavier duty than the 410 chain. It's got wider plates and thicker plates to keep it from breaking. If I'm gonna run a full length chain, this is a style chain that I'd ride because it's a lot heavier duty than most of the other chains, and chains always break for me, so definitely recommend at least this chain or better. Going to the brakes, we got the Mission ceased brakes, alloy brake with the two arms, and they're pulled by this cable here, and then the cable splits to hit the brakes. Pretty easy to adjust and all that stuff. Going to the rear wheel, we got the same tire on the back, the same rim, spokes, but we got a cassette hub on the rear. We got the Mission engaged hub. This thing is a chromoly axle cassette hub with a 9-tooth driver on here. If you're wondering why this crank is smaller or this drivetrain is smaller, the reason why the crank is smaller is because this sprocket and this sprocket are smaller, and the ratio for this one and this one is exactly the same as the big sprocket and the big sprocket in the back. So if you're wondering, this doesn't pedal any easier, any faster, it just pedals exactly the same. It's just cut down and made smaller to lighten it up. It takes about 3 to 4 pounds off your bicycle. So a great invention for bicycles or BMX in general. They also got these Kink pedals on here. These things are nylon, super heavy duty, a lot of knurling on it, lots of pins, and they're gonna hold up to any drops or anything like that you're gonna do. But overall, yep, this is a great bike if you're riding trails, you're riding street, you're riding park. If you're between the height of 5'8" to 6'1", definitely recommend that. Obviously, you can still get this bike if you're under 5'8", but that's general rule of thumb. But if you like this explain and review, go over to stackbmx.com and pick yourself up one of these bikes and have a great session riding and having fun.